Hey folks, I thought I'd share with you my experience from going from a scooter to a motorcycle. Last year I purchased the Zingwee 178cc scooter online for like $1,200, and this is how they drop ship it, and you have to put it together yourself. As you can see, it's a pretty decent looking scooter. Here's me riding the scooter. Yeah, this scooter was fun putting around town. I mean, this scooter you get about maximum maybe say 55 miles per hour. I don't know. It felt like you're doing like 70 on it, but until I crashed it on one day. It was raining really heavy, and I was going around a turn, and there was a lot of leaves, and I slid off the scooter, and the scooter, scraped on the road. And as you can see, there's the pieces that got damaged on the fairing there. And I was with Geico Insurance at the time. I really probably shouldn't have made a claim on the insurance because the scooter was only worth like $1,200. But they totaled out the scooter and gave me like $1,300 for a new scooter. So I made the mistake of actually buying another scooter, the same exact scooter but in white, as you can see here, and I customized it with a custom stereo system. As you can see, I got a Stinger battery under the seat that ran the power on the this custom stereo system, and the LED lights I added on the scooter as well. Here are the white LEDs I put on the scooter. I bought the kit. It was an 8-piece kit from Lead Glow. I don't know, it looked pretty cool. I did it for visibility at night more than anything. And I mean, this scooter was cool for probably a couple of months until it broke down. Since I'm not a mechanic and I didn't know how to fix a scooter, I went ahead and parted it out and actually made my money back plus profit. So I took that money and I went to my local dealer to see what I can buy. I actually went to the dealership with the intention of buying a Honda SH150 scooter, but then I saw the CBR 250R for cheaper. I actually got the deal for $4,300 out the door on this. However, I didn't know how to ride a motorcycle, so I had the sales guy ride it home for me. And here it parked it here in the garage, and I did do a few mods to the bike. I plasti dipped the wheels, heat shield, and windscreen, added a GPS dock and a 12-volt power outlet under the seat. And then I went on YouTube and studied the MSF class on how to shift on a motorcycle and ride a motorcycle. And I did own a manual shift car for like 7 years, so it actually took me only like 5 minutes to learn how to shift on a motorcycle. It was pretty easy for me. It felt very natural. So here I am riding the bike in the parking lot here, as you can see. I did get tired of this bike because, you crank the throttle going up a hill and it wouldn't go past 45 miles an hour. So here in early September here, I went to the dealership, State 8 motorcycle dealership, looking for a 600 to upgrade to. They were going to give me $3,500 up for my CBR 250R on a trade-in on either a new or pre-owned bike. I went ahead and got a pre-owned bike. As you can see, I picked that 2008 Honda CBR 600RR. It had 9,198 miles on the clock. It was actually a smooth transition going from the 250R to the 600. Big power jump though. And I tell you, this bike is awesome. I love the power. If I had to do it over again, I definitely wouldn't have purchased the Chinese scooters. If I were a mechanic, knew how to work on engines, it wouldn't have been such a bad deal because Chinese scooter parts are super cheap online, as was a scooter. Like I said, I only paid $1,200 shipped for the scooter, and and insurance on it was only like $100 a year, so it's like super cheap to own, and you got great gas mileage on it. But like I said, I didn't know how to fix the scooters. You couldn't take it to a local dealer to get worked on. They will absolutely, they're like blacklisted at local dealers. You cannot, most dealers will not even touch a Chinese scooter. So you're on your own. And, but it wasn't so bad because, like I said, I parted the scooter out and I made all my money back, plus a little bit of profit. And I still have a bunch of parts left. So anything that I sell from here on out will be pure profit. As far as the 2011 Honda CBR 250R, if I had to do it over again, I definitely probably wouldn't have purchased that bike brand new, just because it's very difficult to sell, at least in my area. If I had to do it over again, I probably would have purchased like a 2008 Ninja 250R and off of Craigslist for probably like 2,500 bucks. Use it to learn on for a couple of months and then resold it on Craigslist for probably the same price and lost, very little money, if any money at all. And would have purchased my dream bike, which is the Honda CBR 600RR Inline 4. Don't get me wrong, the Honda CBR 250R is a great commuter bike. It's an awesome economical motorcycle to own. You get great gas mileage. I averaged about 80 miles per gallon off of $9 in gas, and you don't have to put premium in, just 87 octane. Insurance is fairly cheap. I paid like $100, $110 a year with Progressive Insurance. It's a pretty good bike. Like it has some good low end torque for a 250, much better than the Ninja. But from what I hear, the new 2013 Ninja 250R is probably going to have equal or better torque on the low end. I don't know. It hasn't been released yet, but as far as the 250R, see, the problem I have is that it is very difficult to sell on Craigslist. I put it on Cycle Trader and Craigslist in like a couple of weeks. I've got absolutely no hits at all. So that's why it prompted me to call, some of the dealerships and see what I could get for the CBR 250R. And I could only, most dealerships would only offer like 2,500 bucks. And mind you, this is the ABS model, which is like a $500 option on the bike. I did call State 8 Motorcycle and ATV, which is one of the largest dealerships in the country, actually. It's, I think, the third largest dealership in the United States. And they offered me $3,500 on the scooter for a trade-in. So I couldn't pass that deal up, and I really wanted to ride a 600 this season before the season ends. And foolishly, though, I picked the CBR 600RR that had aftermarket fairings on it. If I had to do it over again, I definitely would have used that as a bargaining tool and tried to get that bike, $5,500 out the door instead of paying $6,500. But like I said, then again, they gave me $3,500 from my CBR 250R, so I really can't complain too much. And it does have loads of extras on it that I would have definitely put on the bike, such as the Two Brothers exhaust, which would have been the very first thing that I put on the bike, and that's a $500 part right there. All in all, I'm very happy with this bike. I mean, the bike is super clean. There's not even so much as a mark on this bike, except for the bar end has a slight scrape and the brake lever has a slight scrape. Everywhere else is absolutely super clean, and the bike rides like a brand new motorcycle. I tell you, the power delivery is so smooth and powerful. It's amazing. I can't even explain how awesome it is riding this motorcycle. You're gonna have to experience it for yourself. And I'll tell you, this motorcycle cuts through the wind on the highway like nothing. I mean, compared to the CBR 250R, man, if you're not in a tuck position, your head's getting battered all over the place. But with this 600RR, man, the wind just goes right over you. And the power, let me explain the power. You crank the throttle on this bike, man, doing like 50 to 100 and like feels like in 2 seconds. It is so powerful, and I mean, literally one time I cranked the throttle. hitting that 50, I cranked it real good, man, and the front wheel came up a little bit, man. It was so powerful. The torque on it was just, man, it was just awesome. So I'll tell you, if you guys are looking, really admire the 600 Super Sports like I do, skip the 650 or 500 or whatever. If you're going for, if you've already, have your experience on the 250, get the 600, man. And I highly recommend the CBR 600RR. That, in my opinion, is hands down the best street bike out there. The ergonomics on the 600RR are great. When I sat on this bike, I felt the same confidence that I felt on the CBR 250R. The 600RR is just a tad bit wider and you lean over just a little bit more. But like I said, it was a smooth transition going from the 250R to the 600RR. And I've ridden on this bike for the longest ride so far is probably 2 hours with zero issues. And actually the bike to me felt smoother than the 250R and more solid. And like I told you, it cuts through the wind a lot better than the 250R. I mean, on the highway, man, the wind just goes over you and just the power just is so smooth. Another great selling point on this bike is it only weighs 410 pounds wet. It's one of the lightest Supersport bikes out there. It's only, a little over 40 pounds heavier than my CBR 250R. So, I mean, you can hit the twisties pretty good on this 600R, almost just as good as a 250R. Now, as far as cons for the 600, as you know, most 600 inline fours do generate a lot of heat. It hasn't been a problem for me because the days have been kind of cool, like in the 70s out here. So I don't know how it would be like riding a bike on a hot summer day. I don't know. We'll see. Probably next year, or maybe if we get a couple of hot days coming up. But not a big deal to me. I wear motorcycle boots, so I don't know. Probably won't be a big deal for me. But you do have to put premium gas in this bike. You got to put at least 91 octane plus. To me, not a big deal. I filled up the tank. It was on E, and I filled it up for $12 at Shell at like $3.50 a gallon. So to me, it's not a big deal. As far as the fuel efficiency, you're not gonna get. Obviously, you're not going to get the same fuel efficiency as a 250. You're going to get. You can expect. They said like about 40 miles per gallon. I don't know. Some people say like 35 to 40. I feel I can get even better than that because I coast a lot around town. I'm going to set up a Fuelly account to keep track of my miles per gallon, and I'll provide that link on my YouTube webpage when I get a chance, so that way you guys can keep track of my progress. I'm shooting for 45, 50 miles per gallon. We'll see if I can pull it off. Well, that concludes this video. So I hope that it helped some of you guys make a decision on what you want to do as far as if you want to get into motorcycling and how you want to start off. I do highly recommend taking the MSF class, which I did not. I'm self-taught, but I'm just one of those people that likes to do, learn things on his own, and it worked out well for me. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment on the video, and I'll try to answer your questions. Until next time, folks, take care.
Mm.